Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the chat.
Hi.
How you guys doing? The studio is looking nicer and nicer every time you see it. But yeah, we just changed it up a little bit. How you been, Rosa?
Good. So I'm back. You met Kage, one of our team members, in the last interview or last little ACG chat we had going on here, and happy to be back. We had a lot of stuff going on and stuff coming up that we want to share.
Yeah, we were super busy. One of those things that we got to do was recently the new type event, the Build a Beer Night. It went pretty well. I think this was the biggest one they had since we've been doing it. Yeah,
it was really awesome. I had a great time, met some new people, saw some old faces, and I think everyone was having an awesome event.
Yeah. Thank you to everyone that was there, all the people that came to support, the sponsors, such as Gundam Planet, Newtown, VGA at Uptown Finest. It was a pleasure working with you guys again. And of course, the new type people were there. We had a great time. Just happy to be there. It was amazing. And then also, we walked the Japan Day Parade as well, right?
Yeah, Japan Day Parade was so amazing. It was my first time, but our second time as a team there, and you can see it behind the scenes on YouTube on the video.
Yeah, I did it twice so far.
Yeah, so so I thank the team for being there, and my time there was amazing. So thank you to the Japan Day Parade organizers. Thank you to Japan Society. Everyone who made this whole event possible.
Yeah, we had a great time, a good time. Keep hydrated. That's something we learned at that event. But it was a good time. So that's what we got. Well, what we did.
We did our hike too. So we do our little Tokyo Bronx TBX specials that we do amongst ourselves, and we had a awesome hike right after we did the new type event, and that was awesome. So if you want to see the picture behind that, we got to get to know each other, and it's always good to sometimes just rest and decompress and then come back and kick ass, right?
Yeah. I enjoyed walking after walking. So
more walking.
We had a parade and then we climbed some hills. It was just good cardio. I feel like we're back on play. Along with that, we got some stuff coming up. June is around the corner. We're almost at the end of it. Garden State Comic Expo, all the way over in Morristown. Yeah. So we're going to be over there as well. It's a 2-day event, Saturday and Sunday. We're just going to go have some fun, meet you guys.
June 24th and 25th.
There you go. So, me, I'm bad with dates. I just want you to figure that out. But June 24th, June 25th, come through, say hello, meet us, greet, what's up, high five. I'll do it for myself. But come through and have some fun. Yeah. So I think that's it, right? That's all we got going on right now.
Yeah, I think it's going to be amazing. It's 2 outside of New York City conventions. Like we said, we do love to venture outside and let people know what Tokyo Bronx and Tokyo Bronx ACG does. Yeah,
indeed, because then we want people to come in and check out the Bronx and have a good time too, man. We got some cool stuff going on here. So, Rosa, we went and saw a film.
Yes,
we invested a couple of dollars, took the team. And when I saw,
I was fine with the $5. Any more than that,
Yeah. So we talked about this movie. We talked about it, the trailer, and we went and saw Knights of the Zodiac. And Rosa, what are your thoughts on Knights of the Zodiac?
Oh my gosh! I mean, I told you so. I said already that I told you. To me, it was basura. It was trash. I did not like it. It was gonna suck. It was gonna be basura. And I was right about that. It's just it looked like if, I think somebody from YouTube would have made a better movie out of it.
Well, I think the people that from YouTube made that movie. It looks very similar to some YouTube shorts I've seen.
No, give credit where credit's due. So the YouTube creators doing those fandom films, you're doing a good job compared to
but because you get to watch it on YouTube for free, you ain't got no problem with it. But now you gotta pay $5 or whatever it is that you pay at your theaters. I don't know where you pay, and now it's on the big screen. It's a different vibe, right? That's the thing.
I would say, for me, when I started seeing it go downhill, it had to be 15 minutes into the movie. That's when, which is really bad. It's because in the beginning you're getting into it, you get adjusted. right there. Like there was a scene that happened 15 minutes in, and it was like so cheesy and corny. You know, because it's cheesy and corny that's funny, and it's like, okay, I like this because I'll deal with this. But that was like, okay, so cringy.
So I think I'll say this as a person that watched the show. I think what it is like I think I said this for the group. There was just things that they lacked in the movie. Like the action scenes were good. Don't get it twisted.
Yes.
If you go there, you'll get some good action scenes, and some are whack too. It's good and bad. But I think the thing was the group dynamic of the Knights of the Zodiac. When you have something saying Knights of the Zodiac, and you only see like one or two knights, knights, it's kind of whack. It's like watching the Power Rangers, and you see one Ranger, and that's the Red Ranger. And then you see them fight the Green Ranger. Yeah, like, and then you're like, and then weird. That's it. And then you're like, oh, where's the rest of the Power Rangers? So that's what happened with the Knights of the Zodiac. They only focus on one person, which is Sia, which is good.
And the actor was great too. You know, the actor.
Don't do that. Don't do that to them.
Yeah. The actor. No, that one guy, not all of them. I would say.
Oh, the guy that plays Sia?
Yeah, he was the only, because he also, I didn't realize this, he played Kenshin from the live action Japanese movies, and I love those movies. I told you, I love that live action, so I didn't even know that was him. And I'm like, you know what? It's just like when he had the name, I guess whoever the hell had to translate it, his script to English, they just did such a bad job. I feel like. I think his acting, you could see it, but it's just the script was bad for him.
I think the whole thing was written by Chat GP. And that was it. Because it was just very dull. Like, there's just certain things that were missing. I feel like I've gotten better action out of, like, those Netflix or straight-to-DVD movies. And I think it's also behind the team. It's the cause of the team as well. Like, if the team was in it for passion and love. Here's the other thing I really think about this movie. I think this movie was made to keep a, what do you call that now? Oh my goodness. Was it the contract? It was to keep the licensing rights. So what it is that the movie doesn't feel good because it was more like Fan Four stick. There's it. You ever saw Fan Four?
No, I didn't.
Fantastic Four movie with Michael B. Jordan.
Oh no! I saw the first one. The
old school ones with like
Chris Evans.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't see.
So the new ones were like not that good because it's more like at the time when Fox, before they were bought by Disney. Before Fox was bought by Disney, they were trying to retain the rights to the Fantastic Four, so they made a quick movie, and it felt all. So you felt like this felt like that? Yeah, it felt like it was a cash grab. Hey, we got this license. We paid Netflix because Netflix has the license to the Saint Seiya franchise, and maybe they don't have the movie rights; they have the series rights. Got you. Okay. So they can license the cartoon and make any new cartoon property with the characters, but they can't make a movie. So that could make sense because that's why it was missing a lot of elements, you know. Well, and then to see that they put in this personality for some of the characters just didn't seem well, like with the girl, like Athena. Yeah, the girl that turns into Athena. She was acting like a dramatic, like a teenager, and all these corny lines. Because there are teenagers. That's who they are in the show. But it felt like a Disney after school special. Like, why are they acting like that? Like, but Disney does it better. Like, I bet you could go back and watch, like, what's that, Wendy Wu and all that, like Time Stoppers. Yeah. Remember those like Disney TV shows, but TV movies. It just was too cringy to watch. I couldn't deal with the whole I hate you. I don't think I'll ever save you, and then all of a sudden they come to this too fast to love you, or I'll die for you. Like, what the hell? Okay. And then the other thing is like, I don't know who put this in. The guy, what's the actor's name that played Sia? You know, I'll put it up there. But he was so clean for the whole movie. Listen. There's a huge explosion. One dude is inside of a helicopter, right? He is in the main explosion. He comes out fresh. And those kicks, the white kicks are nice and fresh. Yo. No New Yorker would be disappointed in how he treats his kicks. Like, I don't know how he came out so clean. Like, and Chris, yeah. So this dude was in a helicopter. The helicopter fell out the sky. Fell out the sky. Crash. Yeah. He's dirty. Got cuts and bruises. Seal was in the explosion. Boom. Everything is getting destroyed around him. Fresh and clean, bro. Shirtless, white lily skin, fresh kicks. That's all he
That
had.
was it.
And he was good. So like, yeah, I just felt like they had good actors in it too. Like Sean Beale was in it, and the lady that played Phoenix in the X-Men movies.
Like we kept saying Phoenix fighting Phoenix.
Yeah, because actually one of the guys that has an armor has the Phoenix armor. Mm-hmm. So spoilers, like he's in the movie.
Yeah.
So it's just like it wasn't good. It wasn't memorable. Like so Rosa, like what would you put this like above Dragon Ball Z? No, sorry, Dragon Ball Evolution. Or below.
It's like this. I would say just
neck and neck, or
just I would say
you think this
like this, you know, because I have to see Dragon Ball. I don't even know if I want to see it again. You know, I will have to see it again to kind of figure that out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so I'm trying to remember how bad it was.
It was bad.
And just compare it, but right now, just because this movie's fresh in my mind, it's sort of like.
So this is your lowest movie for the year so far.
So for sure for the year.
Okay, all right, it's so
done.
It's bad. I
would say if you want to put yourself through that torture, just wait till it comes out on stream. Services.
This is the best description of why you should watch the movie. There's a point where Sia climbs a cliff to meet somebody. He meets them. And the person jumps off the cliff. And that's the description for this movie.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah. So all this climb,
you gotta put that in.
Right. All that climb, he just goes, meets this person, and they're like, "Oh, cool!" and jumps off the cliff. That's
the synopsis of the movie.
The person could have just climbed down the cliff and met Sia, but no, they just made him do a lot of work. That's it. The movie has a lot of work, and it just.
But I think we enjoyed it as a team. I think seeing it by yourself would have been but I think I like that we saw it all together and we got to experience that.
I did
torture
enjoy it as well. Wow, you like us getting tortured together?
No.
That is a first.
Well, I went in there.
You should have heard Rosa. I told you. And
I was just making very big grunt sounds.
Yeah,
like,
you're like,
I
told you guys. I told you this wasn't gonna be good.
I was fidgeting in my seat, like, oh my god.
Yeah, the phones came out like halfway through the movie. It was done. It was alright. So that's that. So, Rosa, what are you watching right now? Like, what are you?
So I went back to watch Spice and Wolf. So it's an old
2000s.
I'm saying old, 2000.
You're like
high school era, So I was looking up YouTube videos of like similar animes. I was watching another one and was similar to that, and they recommended Spice and Wolf, and it looked good. Like the artwork looked good.
It was a good series.
And they mentioned the characters, and I love the main characters. There's a guy that he's a trader by craft, and he goes to like different trading companies and travels around and sells trade stuff and merch, armor, you name it, herbs. So then it starts off like he meets the wolf goddess because she was being trapped by one of these villagers because they believed in like this wolf goddess, and she ends up escaping. And her whole point, I saw season 1 and I'm up to season 2, like almost done.
Okay.
And the whole point is like she made a deal with him that he has to take her to the north, like he has to take her home, and she'll help him because she's been around for hundreds of years and she knows the crafts of humans and what how to talk to humans and sell stuff, work that magic. And so they come to that agreement, but then you start to see more of their character development, and that's what I love about it. And I think Knights of the Zodiac lacked. They lacked the character development. You want to get to really make a connection with these characters, and that anime does it awesome because you get to see the flaws and the strengths of each of these characters, especially the wolf character, because she's a wolf goddess, so she's like very tsundere like, and she knows everything and doesn't want to be told what to do. But then with him, she lowers her guard and realizes that no, I need your help, I need your support and safety, and I want you to. We work together. So it's a great show. I mean, those of you who are into character connections, into like.
Feels more like what, a slice of life then kind of vibe, or more like
some of that is in there. That's what I like about it because they have some elements to it, and then there's some suspense moments. But I guess when you have a show that has just to do with trading, they gotta make some anime stuff to it because it's just trading. It would be boring as hell. But I think what helps it, that's why I keep watching it. What helps it is the characters.
Yeah.
And which is like, even now, a lot of animes are lacking that depth. Like I was telling you before, like, there'll be shows that a character will come out. They want you to get so attached to this character. And I'm like, I don't even know them. And then they die. It's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, I got one in my chamber right now for that shit. But yeah, I get it. Spice Woman looks interesting. It's not my vibe, so I never really got into it. You know, I came in with the big three. So that was 5, but the big 3 that came out at the time Spice Wolf came out was Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece. So and they were fighting for so much attention, and then you were getting really good shows like Scry and the Scrap Princess and all these different like, anime. So I missed out on that one, but I'm glad to hear there's a good one. Like,
but it's good to go back, and I like to be able to go back and experience this in a different perspective. So it's good.
Yeah. I did that recently with like what was it again? I was watching something from Ergo Proxy.
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
Like when you go back and watch that was
I can't imagine.
way ahead of its time,
Yeah,
especially in this day and age. Like it's
back then I remember watching it was confusing as hell and like really trying to figure out the aesthetic. But now that I think about it, it would definitely fit now.
Yeah, it's a really solid one. But what I've been watching, I'll talk about is High Card, and I don't know. This is the most disappointed anime I've watched in a long time. Okay. Very disappointed. Like so I felt like I pushed to rush through it because I thought it was going to get better.
Right.
But it just dropped the ball at the end. So basically, High Card is about, in this kingdom, there's these 52 playing cards.
Okay.
And in these 52 playing cards, every person gets a special ability. So you get superpowers if you have one of these cards. So the lower cards are like whack superpowers. And then the high tier cards are like almost godlike, right? You get like psychic abilities and stuff
so like the
that.
ace, the king, okay.
Yeah. You start, the higher the card, the better your powers are, right? So basically how it starts off is that the kingdom that has the card, like the king has all the cards, and somebody tries to invade them to get them. Like just basically go in and steal the cards. But during the heist, something goes wrong. The cards get released and they all go up into the air and scattered like the Dragon Balls. Like it's just now you gotta go and find them.
Okay.
So there's 3 organizations after these cards, which is our main character's Finn. He becomes a part of this organization, like a car dealership, kind of like Pontiac in this world. So they're car salesmen. So they're dressed really nice in suits, but also they hunt cards down.
Got you.
And then there's also a mafia group which hunts the cars, and they have card users as well. And then there's like other little neutral groups in between there, like
mercenary groups and stuff.
Yeah, another agency that hunts down the cards for the king and kingdom, so they can get them back as well. So our main character Finn, he's an orphan, works for this orphanage. The orphanage is about to get shut down, and miraculously he goes to try to gamble, and he ends up getting his hands on one of these cards. So the powers are dope. I think some work out well. There's different characters like Chris. Chris becomes his partner, and he has his card allows you to eat. Oh no, not eat. He is immortal. So if he loses a limb or gets shot, he heals.
Oh, okay.
So he can get shot anywhere, and once he has the card in play, he can heal. But the only thing is he has to continuously eat. So to gain every time he
regenerate,
loses,
right?
He has to eat lots of food. Then there's other characters in there like Leo. There's one of the characters has to use money to use weaponry. So say he wants to build something, he burns money. Like literally destroys money to build whatever he needs to build. So he's pretty wealthy. So like he'd be like, "Oh, I need $1 million," and he'll make rocket ships and all this stuff. So the more money he burns, the more better stuff he builds. And then there's a girl called Wendy. Her name is her name of her card is Love and Peace. So it's a sword, but once she draws the sword, the other side comes out. Which is love is one side and peace is the other side.
The double-edged sword, right? Yeah.
So she becomes a serial psychopath. She kills. She loves chopping people to pieces. Yeah. So she loves Chris because Chris can regenerate. She loves cutting up Chris.
Got you.
So the more
that
relationship. Yeah. So the thing with this show is that it drops the ball. It does some things right. Let me just say what it does right. So every episode, it's the card of the week. every week they have to figure out a way to get a card. Like maybe a new player comes into town, and that's what they're called, players. Like like anybody that has a card is a player. So sometimes they go and they find a new player, somebody that has a card, and they try to take it away from them. Other times it's them fighting one of the other members of the fractions to get a card, maybe a mob member or somebody in the crown or something like that. And then other times it's like it could be a heist where like somebody has a card but nobody's playing it, but now they have to go and steal it, which was an interesting premise. Our main character Finn has, I think, the 2 of spade. I might be wrong. I'll fix that if it's wrong. But his ability is that he gets a pistol, and with this pistol he can't miss, which is like whatever. It could be interesting. Again, it's interesting when people have low powers and they're trying to figure out how to beat. Like kind of like one of my favorite shows is Blacker Than Dark. Darker Than Black. Blacker Than Dark. Darker Than Black. Right? Darker Than Black was a great show where people have powers and they had to figure out how to use their powers in different ways to suit them.
Oh, okay.
And the battles were interesting because the main character, his power was kind of like not the best, but he had like other tools. Like he had a blade that would cut anything. He used to have grappling hooks, whole bunch of stuff to try to, because he wasn't the strongest person. And then there was other characters that they could freeze water anywhere. So like it could be within you, outside of you, in the air.
Okay.
It was so they had good characters like that.
Right.
So this one it dropped the ball. They set up the bad guy, and he was good, but the guy didn't show up for the rest of the show. Like they introduced him in one episode.
That was
like
it.
Like it was a big thing because they set up like they was like letting you know like the mob ties go deep. So maybe the mob has some influences on the police.
Yeah.
So you see things set up there. They show you the bad guy, the big bad, and then nothing.
Oh damn.
Nothing for the whole.
You know what it reminds me of?
Go ahead.
Like those old school video games that nowadays they can't do that. But I think of like Castlevania, Super Mario Brothers. You know, like you don't see the final boss till like the end. You know, but you know you're gonna get there.
Yeah.
You know, but you know that so there's no build-up of the character. You're just enjoying the ride and the experience.
Right.
And
because here's the thing: when you like, like using the Super Mario, right?
Yeah.
In Super Mario Brothers, is it 2 or 3? Super Mario Brothers, the one for the Super Nintendo.
Okay, Super Mario World. Okay.
Yeah, Super Mario World. There you go. You get to fight so many different troopers.
Yeah.
So you get to understand Bowser before you get to him.
Yeah.
So that's the thing with this show. His minions represent him. So he has good minions too. There's one guy that anything he touches turns into marbles. So, but here's the thing. That means he has unlimited weapons. So the marbles he can throw anytime. Yeah. And not only that, anything he touches. So he can go into a fight, touch a person's arm, turn it into marbles. So they lose their arm. And then he has weapons that he could throw at people.
Got you, yeah.
Right? Not only that, if something is like loose, like I remember there was a scene where there was a bag of something next to him. He grabs the bag, turns them into marbles, and then he can shoot them like bullets. So so like stuff like that. So the buildup is dope. And then he had there's one female character on the mafia team, and she has psychic abilities. So once she turns on her powers, she could throw anything and grab anyone anywhere. Right. So like I said, it goes from regular stuff, like somebody having just a pistol. And I remember like there's a character that they chase, and all she does is when she touches your hand with her glove, with her playing card, she could make your hand stick to another person. Not fuse, not this, just do this. Yeah. You can't let go of the person. Yeah. That's whack. So like there's a whole episode based on that character that goes nowhere. Just because they're hunting cards. But then at the end of the whole like show, no bad guy, because you find out like there was this underlying plot going on with one of the main characters. And
how many episodes was this?
12. It was 12 episodes, but it's like yeah. Well, when you play watching 12 episodes or something, and it feels like you're watching a longer anime. That's
because every episode should mean something. Have some, especially at the middle episodes, there should be the climax, and then
Like my whole thing was like I thought they were actually gonna get the 25 cards. Like there's a few animes out there where it's treasure hunting.
Right.
And you go in after artifacts and stuff like that. And there's an online story. Like if you get a card to help save somebody's life, that's cool. Or people have other means for getting cards, that's fine. But also flush out the main characters too.
Right.
So you'll understand why they're doing what they're doing.
Okay.
I just always felt like there was just something happening. And yeah, at the end, the payoff wasn't worth it. It was just like a whack one. There's other abilities that they break down in the show, but I don't even feel like fucking sharing them.
That was it.
Yeah, it was whack.
It's a miss.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you skipped that one. So Rosa, what are you reading right now?
Oh, so I finished wrapping up manga, and it's called Hare-kun or Hare-kun. It's HARE-KON, and I made my notes for it because it kind of sunk me into this rabbit hole of like really getting to know.
You know where Rosa talking about her notes. You know how these type of shows go. These books go. Go ahead.
So of course it's another 18 plus book.
Dropping,
sorry, I can't.
I don't know. Let's go. We back to here again. Let's just relax. I'm gonna step back. I
was trying to read something different, but
sure. Oh my god!
I would say what did grab me to it. I have my notes here just to get an idea of it. But what enticed me to read it was the art style. So when I would go on Instagram and people share their Instagram posts and they'll put like a little quote with the picture. So I kept seeing the images, the artwork, and I love the way the characters were designed, the lining and shading of the characters. Because the book is, it's black and white. Even when they did the color stuff, it was very beautiful. They had a very unique, distinct look. And something with mangas and animes nowadays, like they rush. So a lot of the art style is scribbled and, all over the place, So, but these characters had very in-depth detail to them, especially around the eyes and the face.
That's what pulls you in? Okay, I got you.
But, of course, this being a 18 plus anime, manga. They also made a live action movie. So there is a live action movie. And I want to watch it just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be as in-depth like the way the manga was. Because, it's a live action. They can't do some things that the manga does.
Okay.
But
magic Mike in this one. Okay,
this manga, there's a lot of, I would say, I guess, toxic relationships and people in it. So just like every reality, toxic relationships and people, it seems beautiful in the beginning, but the more you start getting to know the person and you're starting to peel these layers little by little, you really see what they're about and what's really going on with them. So this is a warning ahead for those who might have any trigger warnings. Again, it's an 18 plus review. There are some trigger warnings, like I'm going to talk a little bit about grooming, obsessive behavior, stalking, trauma bonding. So if any of that stuff does set you off, please, take care of your mental fitness, mental health, and you can just skip this review for now. But I had to talk about it because this was like one of the fastest mangas I read recently. Like I read it like in a week or two. It's just like every night, just go into it. Oh, let me see what's next. It was just, it was.
Let's see what's next. Huh?
Okay,
I got you.
So, speaking about, I'm talking about mental health and mental fitness. I think, I want to make a disclaimer and say I'm not a mental health expert or a mental health specialist, and this is just my experiences of the manga and my experiences of all the dynamics that play into it and my perspective when it comes to these topics in the manga. So again, I want to plug, if you want any resources in regards to mental health, mental fitness, we have our amazing friends at Anime for Humanity. We'll plug them in here somewhere. So Anime for Humanity, they go to conventions, and they're a nonprofit that offers amazing, anime versions of mental health resources. So they gave us a couple of mental health kits. If you've been to our events recently, we give them out, and they'll have, like, for example, a Pokemon card, energy, and it's like, here's, to boost your energy, how you're feeling inside, and
definitely gonna need energy to get through this one. Yeah. Okay.
Get that electric energy. Yeah. So if you ever want to get to find out more about them, go to their website, Anime for Humanity, and check them out. So with this story, so this is my anime list. They summarized the story like this. They said, so Koharu is one of the characters. And she had like a bad, I guess, every time she would meet different guys, and she met 3 guys from what we know in the book, the guys were always married. So they were cheating on their wives with her. So she was,
she felt secure, but she wasn't getting the security.
No, she was a side chick, So basically,
hey man,
and some reason she didn't know about this. For some reason, it's like, okay, this guy only takes you. Yeah, but I mean, come on. If the guy's only taking you to a love hotel every time, you gotta know.
You guys
he ain't gonna take you walking to no botanical gardens or anything like that. Okay,
you guys never know. Stop it.
But
oh my god, I can't believe it.
I don't know, but she's young. She was a college student, and she was done with Tokyo life and the cards she was dealt with these men. And she decided to leave because she's from a small hometown countryside in Japan. And she tells herself, she's not going to get married or fall in love. So she says, I'm going to go back with my family and take care of the cafe that they have over there. But then she finds out the family's struggling. And long story short, there's a younger guy. He's the second main character in the story. Well, you'll find out he's the big main character in the story in a bit. He got to meet her when she was younger. So this is where the stalking part comes in, because all of a sudden, he met her when he was younger, and he got very obsessive with her that he ends up always coming around to the family business and always asking about her. And then when she finally did come back to town, he just came to her with this proposal of look, I see your family struggling with money and keeping the cafe open. I'll make you a deal. She didn't know that in her town, the mayor of the town, the new mayor, instilled this law called Hadekun, and basically allows for polygamous marriages to take place. And then with these polygamous marriages, if you are in a polygamous marriage or relationship, you get government incentives. So you'll get free house.
This guy is winning.
You get a free house. You get some, I guess, monthly benefits or something like that.
Man, look.
So then everyone, I don't know, she didn't realize this was happening. So she's like, wait, I came from Tokyo here and this is what's going on. So
that sounds like a good government system to me. I'm just saying.
I'm not knocking. No, I'm not knocking.
Yeah, benefits of being single, people.
I'm not knocking polygamous relationships. If it works for you, that's awesome. But this was a shock for her because she grew up with the whole husband, wife.
But she was a professional side chick for 3 times. So this should have been natural.
She was kidding herself, I guess, at this point.
No.
But he came with that proposal and she decided to take it. So she ends up becoming wife number 3 because he has 2 other wives.
He had 3 now? Look, man. How many? Look, check this out. If any government wants to go out there and put that incentive into place, you should go on it right now. Because these people,
if that's your lifestyle, hey,
I'm just saying the way things going is you guys will be having roommates until you die. God damn it!
Might as well get paid for it, right?
Yeah, shit. I see. Listen, we live in New York City. You know how it is.
Oh my god!
You never hear nobody be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go in this apartment by myself." They're like, me and my roommate. Stop it. Give me that incentive.
Oh my god!
I'll get a 4-story apartment.
Teach their own, but I would say to give you a little background on the character. So what kept me to this story was what I said I liked about Spice and Wolf, the character development. So that's what kept me going with this story because the characters were very likable, and even though they had their flaws and their trauma and some toxic parts of them, I like that they really develop. You get to know them, the main character, the girl that was coming from Tokyo, her character was the least I liked, but despite her being annoying and whiny, she always kept everyone together.
That's what makes her number 3.
That's
why you side chick material when you crying out whiny. Listen, I'm not. Don't take me serious.
Never.
I might be saying something real, but don't take it.
And so she just her character wise, I didn't like her, but for some reason the story had to emphasize her a lot, and that was just an annoying part of it. So of course the main guy, his name is Ryunosuke Date, and in the community of Hadekun, he was one of the top 3. I guess they call them bachelors for some reason. He's not a bachelor, but they call him a bachelor. He's one of the top 3 men in the community.
He's a 5%.
And I didn't mention it before, but there was because the good thing with this manga is they have funny parts. So while there are parts that are drop dead, oh my god, that left me feeling a hole in my chest, that felt deep, then they put the funny part. So it's good that it has that humor? Deep part, funny, humor, deep humor. And there was one part that happened in the story, for example, the well, she's actually the first wife, but she ends up becoming the second wife. She ends up leaving him because she couldn't deal with. She was getting jealous and angry that he's.
Okay, wait. You skipped some steps there. Hold on, stop. You went first, second, and this is third. So wait, hold on.
Yeah, there's three wives.
So there's 3 wives.
So the first wife.
Yeah.
It's weird because the first wife is the mayor's daughter. She's I describe her as a curvaceous sex maniac. Okay. She's naggy. She likes to cook for them.
Yeah.
And this guy, like, he stole her. This is what I'm saying, like the whole grooming thing. He stole her. She was younger, like a teenager, and he stole her from like another guy that she was with. And that's a whole crazy drama in itself.
Okay. I'm a listen, look. I hear when you guys sit down and use these terms.
What?
When there's freaking choices in the world, okay? Like, she chose him.
Yeah, but it was also at this point of yeah, she did, but he got her at a vulnerable state. That's what I meant about the grooming piece. Like, he got, she was at a vulnerable state with this guy because the guy that she was with, he was all like into being in the streets and stealing cars and like robbing people, that whole crazy life. That sounds like he was like, you don't need that. You need like a good. Yeah. So she's like, yes, I do, and she fell for it. It's
like she got saved.
That's the annoying part of this story. That I kept saying, like, this motherfucker thinks that he's trying to save all these chicks, and they don't need to be saved.
Listen, look, they could have been homeless in Tokyo. Swan could have been accomplice to a crime and be in prison. That's what I'm hearing here. I'm listening to this story, right? And he's like, hey, look, you don't need to be in that street life no more. You don't need to be on the streets. You're not for the street, you're for the house. And he brought her in, and she's safe now. Look, I'm just saying. Look,
he's got incentive. No, the thing is like he just I don't. The thing with his character is he doesn't do anything. He's like a gigolo, basically. He doesn't want. His profession is a pianist. He's a musician. He's a piano player. He's a musician. Yeah. That's what he does. But then when he joined this lifestyle, he kind of just wanted to sit back and not do shit. And like, he got these women that were like, okay,
having 3 women is a lot of work.
Well, that's your groove. There's no problem. I'm not knocking it. If that's people's thing. And
listen, look, I'm just saying that's a lot of work. Think about this, right?
Definitely was, but for some reason they had a structure. So this is what they talk about in the story when the third wife comes in. She sees like there's this structure, not even a hierarchy. It was more because they did have first, second, third wife, but it was like they had a structure of like like when you put chores and you're like, okay, this is what Monday chores are, Tuesday chores are. So he had like Monday is wife number 1, Tuesday is wife number 2, and wife number 3, and she was just so dumbfounded by it, not understanding it or something. But that's what, if that works for them, that works for them.
That's so crazy. Look, she's getting guidance now. Got structure. Like, I don't understand where this positive thing is.
But also the problem I had was like, okay, if that was something like, I think she was kind of kidding herself because even the second wife, like the one even though she was the youngest, she was the most mature and she handled the family budget, just to give you background about her. Yeah. But she did get jealous when the third one came around because of their past history of, when they knew each other in childhood.
It seems like you said that she got demoted in the beginning.
I guess so. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So if I get demoted at my job, like if I was like, hey, if I was a supervisor at a job and now I go back to being a factory worker, I'll be upset too.
Oh God, no.
But that's basically it. That's what you just said. You just said, yo.
That's how they put it in the story. But I feel that when it comes to his character, because this is when you realize more there was something wrong with him, was like in the story, at one point or another, some reason all 3 wives were going to leave him. Like, well, one did leave. The second one, that was the second crazy stalker knife, the one that had going crazy, like she left. She ended up leaving for a few years. Maybe like 8 years or something. She did leave, back, and some reason she ends up coming back, and he gives her the spew in the ear of like, "Oh, I missed you," yada yada. That's where the
I'm telling you guys,
grooming comes in because
listen, look, wait, stop.
And the trauma bonding comes in, and I'm like, come on.
Pause there for a second. Let me just try to help this situation.
Oh God. Too. I just felt the way the manga presented itself. It was just a lot of like, but it was, I mean, it was an interesting perspective because it did show like negative sides of these type of things, positive sides of it, and the humor in between helped alleviate that stuff. But yeah, like I said, just really helping to understand that everyone is their own individual, but at the same time, it's like, how do you come together and bring some sort of peace to that?
Right, and I think that's the thing about this one here. It's like the way he figured out to deal with just the chaos is to offer them the opportunity, and also like, you know, and also let them be their own persons, which kind of hurt him in the long run. Because if you see something going on with wife number 1, which is her freely doing whatever she wants, and then here comes wife number 3, like, I'm leaving. That might make you feel some type of way, because then you might, you know, again, just giving the guy's perspective.
Your perspective.
Shoot, I just say the guys. I'm a guy. I know what I thought.
Everyone has their perspective of things, but I would say, yeah, this book definitely is one up for debate and to talk about. That's why, I mean, those are my kind of books. I like to like.
I feel like we'll cut my shit short today. Fuck it. That was long as hell.
No, I like these kind of books because they do open up discussions and it gives a different perspective of relationships, people, cultures, dynamics, everything. So that's you know.
I mean, like, again,
and for a manga to have that was interesting, you know.
Yeah, I get it. That's why I stick to my like punching and kicking in faces kind of thing, because I'm just like. But
yeah, if you want to read it, check it out. Just no disclaimer. You know, make sure you got your mental fitness and mental health right and some, you know, stuff ready. So you read this.
If a guy wants to read this, I think you'd be fine. I think it feels different. I just feel like our perspective is different. But anyway, so what I'm reading now is I'm reading a preview on a book called Wand and Sword. I think it's a longer name before it, but whatever. It's a magical fantasy book, a lot of action. It has every single trope in place. Protagonist that doesn't have powers while everybody else does. It's in high school. But the artwork is really good. That's what draw me in. And the storyline is a little bit different. What it is our main character name is Will, and he has no magical powers whatsoever. Everybody around him has magical powers. And in this world, the school is to train magical people to start defending the kingdom, because there's this big evil that's coming. And what it is that the universe or the school or the whole town place, whatever, is ran by the 3 supreme wands. No, sorry, the 5 supreme wands.
Okay.
So each one is in every category of power, like electricity, fire, water, and stuff like that. So what it is that Will is actually, in the previews I read so far, is a friend to one of the supreme wands, but they can't hang out with each other because, one, she's like a genius magician, so she got where she needed to get just because she's so skillful, and he. So he actually is pretty OP as a character, because everybody else uses magic. He had to figure out his own ways to become strong. So he uses a sword.
Okay.
And he usually studies, he figures out how all the creatures and the world works, how magic works with his system, his own abilities, and he's pretty smart. So he's learned to compensate for his weaknesses. So he's trying to, it's basically Mashal. That's another new show that's where the main protagonist doesn't have magic, and he has to conquer the magical world. So it's pretty good. The action is dope. Just certain things click into place when you start reading it. I like the system. It's as a magic system, it seems like the magic is unlimitless. Like there's no like MP. So there's not like a limit on how many spells they could do or anything like that. So it's a lot of fun. It's a good read so far. I just like the whole dynamics. That's it.
Cool.
I keep it simple this time. I just had a long tangent on my shutdown one just now. But yeah, that's what I'm reading right now. Just a quick preview of that one.
All right.
Yeah. So what are you playing? I ain't playing shit. So like this is all
I did a preview as well of the new HoYoverse game called Honkai Star Rail. And it's been out for about a month, I believe. And just quickly played for a couple of days, and it's great. It's definitely separate and different from Genshin. Like the interface is the same, but it's a turn-based RPG.
Yeah.
So if you're, Genshin's more action-based, this is turn-based, and if you love turn-based games, and you love the combo, characters coming together and doing specials and things like that, and especially they have elements of cards in there as well, and they have their trick wish system as well, which is cards.
More Final Fantasy time base or
Final Fantasy, yes and no. It has sort of that element as well, because Final Fantasy, the new one, 7, it has action. It's
right.
like
is it old school Final Fantasy or more modern? Like what's the closest? Like we're up to 16, so you have so many different battle systems.
I would say it's similar to like 10 maybe or 12. So
10 and 12. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
not the new Final Fantasy remake. No, it's not that. But I like it. I like that the characters are well designed. That's one thing Hoyoverse does. The design of the characters are very intricate and beautiful. And there's a lot of new characters in there. Like my team right now is a girl named Sele. She's more of they call it a DPS. She's like the hard hitter.
Damage,
yeah. And then there's March 7th. Like her name is a date for some reason. Yeah. And then you have the new character is a husbando guy. So he's not that good yet. Like he's good to look at, but his character, they're still testing him out and figuring out what his character is. So he's one of those guys, like he looks good on the outside, but he's not using his tools right, I guess.
Okay.
So that's how it works for him. But
so like it says this is like a kind of like what do you call it now again? Oh my god, why am I forgetting? Honkai or what's the name?
Honkai Star Rail?
No, what's the company name?
Hoyoverse, yes.
Okay, this is a Hoyoverse game. What are the limitations that they have? Because most of they make like the gacha games.
It's a gacha.
It's a gacha. So like what's the limitations on this game? Like is it more like you can only play for a certain amount of time? You can play as long as you want?
No, this one is the same as Genshin. You could play as long as you want, but at the end of the day, if the story's done and there's no other dailies to do, you only have to they have these areas called domains that you could go and challenge and build your characters and stuff. So they have things like that. So it's similar in that capacity. They just don't have as much exploration as Genshin. You can go anywhere, but you do go to different planets through the Star Rail, the train, and it does take you there. It's just those areas. And I only play a little bit of it. So far, it's good. If you want something different, more extraterrestrial, more, modern in a sense, I would say check it out.
So like on the monster design is more aliens kind of stuff?
Aliens. Depends on the region you go to. It depends on which one. There's, of course, the humans and there's knights and things like that. So it does depend on the region.
So do you is any of the characters alien themselves? Like, like how...
From what I know...
Remember Mass Effect?
Yeah, I remember Mass Effect. I don't think so. I think...
Just humans right now.
I mean, there's humans, but then they categorize them differently. I mean, I think there might be an android or something. I know there's a little girl and she's with an android, so it's a robot or something like that. So they are introducing new characters more and more. But I think right now they're trying to get people to buy the game and get into the gacha of it. So they bring out all these like nice, beautifully designed characters, So we'll see what happens. I think everyone's looking forward to this one character that came out in the beginning called Kefka. I think that's her name, Kefka. Yeah. So everyone's hyped when she comes out, so they can't wait for that one. So they know what they're doing. Like the gacha system, like how to get people to get that game.
Well, so this is like your new love, or are you still going back to Genshin?
I'm still with Genshin because I'm the type that I have to stay on the long haul of it because I need to see where it goes. I know that sucks, I'm slowly like playing less and less of it. But I still play it because I want to see the 5-year project how it ends and stuff.
All right. So there you go.
Honkai Star Rail just came out
Rail.
recently. It's a gacha game. I mean, it's free. You also could do free to play as well. So you don't put no money into it. You can play. Anyway,
there's always money.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
We'll try not to
spend $10 at least, right?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
No, I don't know.
All right, I feel you.
But yeah, that's it.
All right, cool. Well, I guess that's the show, man. We wrapped it up. We told you what's going on in Garden State,
Comic Expo, and that is June 24th to 25th. Yeah, we
okay.
We'll put all those descriptions in there, but we hope to see you in one of our shows or in one of our events.
Yeah, I'm down. But yeah, Rosa, that's it. How you feeling? Good?
Feeling good. I'm happy to be back, and stay tuned because we do have the studio spaces open now, and we're going to be doing interviews with a lot of different creators and fans.
Yeah, we will. And you'll get to see more of the team again. So, thank you so much. You guys have a great day. Hakuna Matata.
Thank you. Peace.